Let's see. Hello, everybody. Let's go for this one. Start the other ones. Ticketing, 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 ticketing. Alright, let me turn this on. Let's turn this on. And let's start all this. What is going on here? Huh. Socials. Come on. What is going on here? Yeah. Well, back to the olden days. Oh, maybe that's part of it. That's probably part of it. Refresh. Hello everyone, sorry for, as usual, my technical difficulties here. It seems like it's working now. Are you working? Huh. Alright. Just in case. There's sometimes there's things that you just have to do. So why are you deciding not to work? Third time's the charm, is it? Am I mistaken? Oh, come on. Alright. Well, it just decided to ignore me. Great. Okay. There you go. Something seems like it worked. Are you there, you guys? Hi, Stephanie. Confounded by technology, exactly. Yeah, that's that's a great definition. It just doesn't like me at times. And I'm pretty sure that happens to everyone. It just, for me, it's like I just I guess I accept the experience and just try to enjoy it, I guess, to the extent that I can. It's just that it decided to change the settings for whatever reason. Let's delete this. Alright, alright, there you go. So everything seems to be showing properly, which is good. How are you all doing? And close this off. And just gonna lower that. There you go. We should be good. We should be good. Yeah. Well, yesterday I was trying to stream. I just couldn't. Like, brain wasn't braining. Nothing was going my way. I just like, you know what? I better just rest and and reconnect to it today. And I guess I was talking with my wife about it, that entropy is a, like, it's a force of nature that you have to deal with all the time. Yeah, it just is something, a force to be reckoned with, or to deal with, part of life. Yeah, you know I was mentioning that I was working on this other channel that I was planning of doing like more blog content. So I started that, and that's also part of why I've been on and off streaming, because I was trying to move that forward as much as I could. Um, and I added a video. That that's could be a that seems to be a bot. That's quite probably a bot. Alright. So what I was thinking was, I had three things in mind, which are the things I usually revolve around. Was mech, cyborg, or a lady, or a human character. So yeah, maybe mech is less stressful right now. Real life bot looks like. That's a great question. I wonder how they set those up, because now with all the AI is available, it must be a breeze to do that. Like, I know you can, like, my background, I have a lot of, or somewhat of an experience with advertising, so I know you can set up like automatic responses. So that sort of thing is, it's fairly easy to set up. It has been really easy to set up for a few years. So I wonder if what they have is something similar to that, or maybe it's something like now they should be able to have something way more intricate than just automatic response bot. So I don't know. It all depends. Yeah. So going back to what I was saying, I have a new channel. I don't know if to mention it or not, but it's a blog channel, like um, adventure channel, actually. To an extent, adventure. I'm not the type of person that's gonna do like skydiving or something like that, but I definitely enjoy exploring new places. That's a lot of fun. So it goes more along those lines. Um, yeah. Well, now it actually exists. It's called Off Canvas Adventures. So you can probably Google it. I added a video for it already, and I'm debating if I'm going to do like weekly videos or monthly. Monthly, it's easier for me. It's less stress, and I can probably it's easier to manage with this other endeavor that you're experiencing right now, and which has taken a lot of work and effort from me. So yeah, I don't plan on abandoning this channel. I just wanted to have a venue where I can channel kind of this itch that I have to just explore and maybe document more than it's easier to document. At least it feels to me like it's easier for a creator to document what you're seeing than creating from scratch. It takes more of a mental effort to do it. Like this sort of thing, it takes an effort to do. Sometimes, as I mentioned, you kind of let it go on auto or semi-auto, and kind of let the thing kind of find its way into a page. But other times you have to be way more. I've talked about this. I think obnoxious, obnoxious, uh, like repeatedly, and there is a mix between being conscious and in the moment and being on the passenger seat rather than on the driving seat, if it makes sense. And I think I got to a point where I feel I'm messing up. sure. I can add a link. No worries. Give me a second. Probably YouTube is kind of keeping it hidden or something. It shouldn't, but let me go here. Well, I can add it. Give me a second. I think I can add it here. I think you should be here. Oh, come on. Come on. Show me the... Come on, YouTube. Just deciding not to. Okay. There you go. Did it send it? I wonder if it does it. Let's see. What? It doesn't. Why does this happen to me? Can you see it? Did it go through? No. What is going on? This drives me bananas. Okay. Reload frame. Just decided to break anyways. The story of my life. It's called Off Canvas Adventures. If you search Bariloche in 14 minutes, you're gonna see the first video I made for it on YouTube. You cannot stop me from speaking, can you? It's incredible the way technology kind of has taken over of canvas. Canvas, like what you use to paint. So my idea is, because it's not related directly with what I do, but it's through my eyes. Yeah. I wanted to kind of find a an interesting play of words there. So yeah, that's that's what I got. Our baby is like fighting going to sleep. That's also part of it. That like when you're trying to figure out, yeah, Bariloche in 14 minutes. That's kind of the first actual vacation I got since we migrated. At least the first real vacation. Like, okay, let's go to a place and enjoy that place, that sort of thing, rather than like weekend uh, trips or uh, that sort of endeavor. You've never been anywhere on vacation? Well, you should. It's a it's a fun thing to do. I think going places uh, just to know how they are. It can be like life changing. It changes your perspective on some things. Like you can sort of you can get a different view of the world depending, like trying to understand the nature of the place that you're visiting, because even though like for instance here uh, they have a specific culture, but depending on the place that you visit, it changes a little bit. Like, I don't know, in some places they tend to drink more mate, or the for instance, if you go to Patagonia, it tends to be colder because it's way down. So weather affects the way people behave, and the things they have to experience often affects culture. There's also different tribes depending on the place where you visited. Um, like the original settlers. It's not the right thing. The original I don't know, existing people, tribes from those set places. They each one has a different culture, so that inhabitants, that's a word. Inhabitants, they all have a different, uh, slightly different uh, culture to them and traditions. So it does affect the place that you're visiting. Like the U.S., for example, uh, all the states I've visited, which are not many, I would say four, five maybe, if I count Nevada. I think, yeah. So California, Nevada, uh, Florida, and North Carolina. Yeah, they're all super different. They all have, of course, there's a general culture, or somewhat of a general culture, but each place has a different seasoning of sorts, or a different way of existing. I don't know. I find it really interesting. I think it's part of me now. The need to explore and learn, and it also feeds into the art, um, whether it shows or not on the work I do. And that's not for me to assess. I believe it does feed the work, um, but uh, it definitely gives you a different point of view about how the world works. And um, I don't know. It's this thing about, we in Spanish we have a say that, nadie te quita lo bailado. So nobody can take away what you already danced. So that's a way of saying that the experiences you had, they stick with you. Nobody can take those away from you. So that's a way of saying that that's part of your richness. The like a way of enriching yourself. Uh, Life experiences. So to me, traveling, even if it doesn't, like, you don't have to go like to another country. It doesn't need to be something like that. If it's out of budget, because I understand that. Yeah, yeah. It's really awesome, and it's also kind of comforting to think that, like, okay, we experienced that and nobody can take that away from us. I think that maybe that's something really Latin American, because uh, here, for example, in Argentina, they have a say that it's an Argentinian thing. And I think it's something like, plata y miedo nunca tuvimos. So money and and fear we never had. So whatever uh, beyond that, uh, it's a gain. At least that's my understanding of it. I could be mistaken. Please don't, if you're Argentinian and listening to me and you understood what I said, and that's not how that reads, please don't come at me. uh, I'm saying the way I understood it, which could be wrong. Um, but yeah, so yeah, having different experiences is also a part of life. Like, you don't have to do it all the time. I'm not, like, for me, watching a cool movie or something that I enjoy is also part of my enrichment. It's something that I feel helps me get to get a different perspective, because you're looking at things through the eyes of whoever made that film or that series, or the collective of people that worked on it creatively. So yeah, I think all those things uh, can kind of make life a little bit more fun. Um, so one thing we sometimes do, and I've made videos about it, is like, you don't have to plan something huge. You can do like a small weekend excursion somewhere. Like, okay, I've never been to this museum or this spot on the map. I wonder what it would be like. Or I've never been to this park, if you're in a budget or something. So, of course, don't put yourself in danger or anything like that, but uh, within reason, I think it's worth the effort to try to experience life from different settings, and enjoy the view, as they say. Yeah, I also think, because of trauma and a bunch of bad experiences I've had on my life, I've come to realize that I enjoy way more experiences that are outside in nature, than like there's some like city oriented stuff that I enjoy as well. Museums, going to eat something, I can enjoy that too, but I think I lean more towards like exploring uh, a park, a part of the city architecture. So I don't know. It depends on each and every one of us. Some people enjoy more other experiences. I can speak for myself. So yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, would recommend. I think I have some shading stuff I can use here. And I was gonna post this and never posted this. Actually, never posted it. Maybe I do a compilation of stuff. I don't know. I also got this box of junk to contain my mess into one neat thing, so I can just lock it, and I have this neat box, as you can see. Yeah, it helps with my chaos. Like, I know I need chaos at times, but like with the baby, it's like, okay, they're gonna be full chaos all the time. So Let's just try to contain my part. Sorry, my part of the chaos, and kind of keep it within certain bounds, and limit the advancement of entropy. Easier said than done, though. Way easier said than done. I do this futuristic stuff, and I don't know if you've seen it. There's a film that I think it encapsulates my take on this whole. Well, that's one. I have three of those, and I do have a bunch of other ones that are they have like paper and other materials. So, and this is just the junk I have around the desk. So there's other stuff that is way more contained and manageable, but this tends to get everywhere. So that's why I wanted to have something like that. Um, I lost my train of thought there. What I was saying before. Oh, there's a movie that encapsulates what I think or been thinking for years about this AI and technology advancing. Like, if we don't put a hold on ourselves, there's a movie that is with Antonio Banderas. I don't remember the name. You can probably find it. Just look Antonio Banderas and futuristic cyberpunk movie, and you're gonna find it. So I don't want to spoil the plot, but yeah, they're all similar in certain aspects, I guess. But we mess up, and in a lot of these films or depictions of what future may hold for us, we messed up because of our greed and our search for more uh, money, power, however you want to call this. And we also have this tendency to think that if we create something different from us, that it's gonna behave like us, even though it's something different. At least some think that way. I don't think we're gonna know how it's going to behave. That's the thing. That's the danger. So yeah, if you can look that movie up, I'm going to search it real quick and let you all know what what this dude is talking about. There's two, but oh, The one I'm talking about is called Automata. That's the one I'm talking about, Automata. I like the story of that one. Maybe for some people it's a terrible movie. I don't know. To me, it was a good plot in how they depict certain ideas, certain concepts. Um, there's also Ex Machina. Deus Ex Machina, is it? I think it's just Ex Machina. Yeah, Ex Machina is another one that is freaking awesome. And yeah, well, there's plenty of films that touch a little bit on that subject. Blade Runner does too. Yeah, that film is odd, but the the point of the film is depicting the reality that like we're trying to playing God without being God is kind of it's kind of dangerous. It's dangerous. I think that's a huge part of that film. Uh, the the character that creates the technology originally it's unhinged, um and they kind of like it's a kind of a psychological thriller, I think, to some extent, and it has different things, but it has way more of a psychological aspect to it than a plot uh, in a traditional sense. Um, but I also saw, for example, recently I saw with my wife one that has a kind of a different vibe to it. Okay, say hi back. Um, um, I'm trying to remember. It's Finch, the other one that I was thinking. That one has a different vibe, and the plot is it it, it goes up and down in terms of emotions. I don't know. I enjoy that film. That film is really interesting for many reasons. One that I think people that don't enjoy that film they don't like if you don't enjoy that film for what it is and the subject matter and the what it's trying to convey as as us moving as a species forward, then I don't know if I can if I can trust your criteria on film. But everyone has their own opinions. Wally, for example, I know it's way more for kids, but it does have a whole theme that is real and it's tangible. And it seems like we're moving right towards that, and it's like nobody cares, or the ones that care, I don't know. It's we're in weird times, weird times. So going back to the channel that I was making, I'm talking about like I think we need to connect more with real things, real experiences. Um, the digital world is not going away. The internet is I don't think is gonna go away. But the amount of stuff that like think about how many things that are going to start to pop that you cannot really trust your eyes. Like they could now it's way easier to set up a story and to feed that in everywhere, and it's getting harder and harder to tell whether it's true or not. So yeah, no worries. uh, Thanks for joining, appreciate it. uh, well, 48 minutes. I usually go for around an hour. It depends. But thanks. Yeah, I lost my train of thought again. I forget what I was saying. uh, yeah, I think that it's way easier now to like fool people that yeah, like I know visual effects. I have I believe I have a decent eye, or a good eye for spotting what's fake or not, and kind of look at the seams of produced content. With that said, how many people are looking for those seams, or those mistakes on whatever they're looking at, versus people that have like I'm pretty sure everyone has a family member that has sent them a group message like, "Oh, they're coming for us. Look at this." And they send you something that's like you just bought it right away. There's something like that's made up stuff. That's not real. You're looking at something that you're propagating nonsense. Well, the I don't want to comment too much on that, but definitely there's a lot of films that like budget and quality of what you actually get to see doesn't always relate, because also here's the other part. In films in the US, for example, there's a an important part of the budget that goes to the actors, because the actor is gonna put seats on the film. Like that's why you get all those uh, like the what's it called? I was gonna title, but poster, the movie poster is usually like you have all those flotating heads, because those people are the ones that are gonna bring, or at least they're marketing the film for people to go. And yeah, if that also is part of it. And the main aspect to any film should be the writing. Like there's film that maybe technically they're not great, but from a story perspective, they're like mind blowing. So it compensates one with the other. And there are a bunch of indie films that are masterpieces, and there are films that are, as you say, like they have all the money in the world, and it's basically kind of like a cookie cutter film to some extent. And I don't enjoy talking about that in that way because, well, I'm a CG artist, and there's a whole industry that exists within that. And but yeah, no worries. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. I'll try to be back Monday, uh, for sure. So yeah, I love films. To me, that was my first, or one of my first passions. Like just watch movies and get lost in the stories. Star Wars is a huge influence, so that's probably also why I make all this mechs and robots and cyborgs. And but yeah, I guess as I grew older, I started to see other types of stories like Alien and Blade Runner, which are, I think, more adult theme films. There are also like Alien is a freaking masterpiece. Uh, Predator is a classic film. Has so many quotable. I think it's uh, categorized as the most quotable film of all times, or something like that. I might be mistaken, but so yeah, yeah, it's way more difficult to impress people with a bunch of stuff. Like you, Avengers, the first time they achieved that, oh, this is great. Like after that, they tried to make an Avengers film every now and then, and they lost the punch. Or well, there's also, I feel like the writing is lacking. You That's why it's a common thing that they say that story is king. Thank you. Hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully, I'll get more successful. Get monetized. That'd be awesome. Um, but yeah, story is king. Um, I want to turn this into a story. I'm not a writer. Uh, I want to try to make it into a cohesive, even if it's a short story, something that makes sense. But writing has a bunch of different rules and ways in which you should approach it, and it has uh, it's its own world, uh, in it of itself. Like I've met people that are writers, like naturally born writers, and they're great at it, and it's its own thing. So trying to disconnect what what makes a film great from kind of the flashy aspect of it is where I think this whole thing of films that have a huge budget and the story is kind of like, okay, I guess it's entertaining. Like you get to see a bunch of flashy and impressive visual effects, but it doesn't, it lacks that punch to it, and that comes from the writing, and like that's why they adapt like Stephen King's books, or they adapted Dune. That's from a book, so that's the origin of the thing. Yeah, most definitely, most definitely that happens, and I do also understand why that happens. Especially now, I think it's getting easier for somebody to tell a story from a new perspective, but the big budget places, they, I think they're trapped in their own success to an extent, because they're so gigantic, and there's so many moving parts, and you have to consider a gigantic amount of capital and investors, and so you're dealing with a bunch of different people with different perspectives, that they all want the safe bet. Like they don't want to put money on this nobody that came up with a maybe potentially a great idea, but uh, it could go it could go right into the gutter. So you can throw $300 million into right straight to the gutter. Um, yeah, I think the being conservative in that regard, I understand it, because they're running a business, so they have to uh, go for something that makes sense financially. With that said, that's where indie creators can kind of swoop in and show new things, bring them into the world. It's not easy. It's never gonna be easy. It's never been easy. But uh, eh, I think that's probably. I think we're gonna see like a renaissance of sorts. I'm hoping that we see a renaissance, because I see like larger conglomerates getting into this blob stagnation, if it makes sense. Like they're all starting to look similar to each other. There's some directors there that have been able to like find the right place to go through and bring original stories to maybe IPs that they were already established. But I've talked about this film before, but recently, like when I saw Sinners, I was like, this is this is magnificent. That film is awesome. there's nothing I didn't enjoy about that film. Yeah, props to everyone that worked on it. Um, it was freaking great, and it was already by a director that has been in really huge budget films before getting to do this. And but he was able to bring this story that's his story, like something that he came up with. So that's something that going back to the films I was mentioning, I'm not sure, but I think Ex Machina is also kind of like a more indie film, because like you have like three or four actors. I don't know. Maybe I'm mistaken. Let me check. Uh, Usually I can tell, but I might be mistaken. Well, for example, Ex Machina, 15 million US dollars. That's the budget for that film. So, if you consider that they were able to make that with just 15 million dollars, like I'm pretty sure they made way more than that. So that's a success. I think that's what if you're mindful about what you're doing and you plan it out properly, like that movie, the whole story is contained within within certain bounds, and that's the genius of movie making. Like if you keep it uh, to just dealing with what you need, and get, like, I don't need all this fluff and all this other, like, flashy things, explosions and bunch of particles, and you don't need that. Yeah, exactly. um, so I think there's space to do that sort of thing, uh, but I don't know. Who am I? I'm just an artist, a random artist on the internet, just drawing. Anyways, uh, I'll be ending the stream already past the hour mark, and I'll be back Monday. And if you decided to watch my stream, I really appreciate it. And thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time. I have an illustrated deck of cards that you can find on my website. Likewise, again, thanks for watching. Um, Anyways, I have an illustrated deck of cards that you can find on my website. I also have a Redbubble shop that you can find with my illustrations in some merch. If you want to check those out. Yeah, let me see if I can find my music. No worries. Alright. Until next time. Bye. I think you could be able to find it on my profile. Is ronaldsegovia.com. I cannot write right now on the chat, but you can probably find it if you Google me. Yeah, no worries. It should be on my profile if I remember correctly. What I'm trying is to remember if it's there. Um, but yeah, it's ronaldsegovia.com. Yeah, and you can find all the stuff, my portfolio and other things. Anyways, again, thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time. Bye.